Royal Rumble 2025 is fast approaching, and I decided to make a video to give you guys my top 10 favorite Royal Rumbles of all time, man. Now, this video is gonna be, heavily subjective because, for me, in my case, I started watching wrestling around 1999. So my first Royal Rumble really experiencing as a fan was the 2000 Royal Rumble. So it's pretty much going to be from 2000 onward to 2024, not to discredit all the Royal Rumbles that we had before those, like the 1992 Royal Rumble, Flair's speech. That, Royal Rumble has a lot of great moments, and it is one of my favorite premium live events aside from WrestleMania. It's the road to WrestleMania. It's a lot of excitement around the Royal Rumble. New stars could be made. You never know what's gonna happen. So without further ado, I'm gonna jump right into this and give y'all my top 10, starting with number 10. I got the 2000 Royal Rumble, man. Like I said, this was my first Royal Rumble. I didn't get to watch this on pay-per-view, but I was a fan. I was a newer fan at this point. I believe I was five years old, going on 6 in the year 2000. But looking back at this Royal Rumble, this emanated from Madison Square Garden, and people could say, if you haven't watched this match of Triple H versus Mick Foley, go back and watch it. It's honestly one of the greatest Triple H matches of all time. I think this match right here really solidified Triple H as the game, in my personal opinion, man. So another thing, we had the Hardys and Dudleys on the card. I believe that was a tables match, and we also had The Rock winning the Royal Rumble that year. And believe it or not, that is The Rock's one and only Royal Rumble win throughout his entire career. Of course, 2025 Royal Rumble, that could change 25 years later. Who knows, man. But yeah, that Royal Rumble, I think it was a decent event. Of course, like I said, I was a newer fan, but at that point, I liked everything about it. I actually rewatched it the other day, man, and that match between Triple H and Foley, incredible, man. So that's number 10. Number 9 for me, I gotta go to the 2005 Royal Rumble. Now, 2005 was a transitionary year for the WWE. A lot of the big stars left: Rock, Austin, Goldberg, Lesnar. A lot of the big names were out. We still, of course, had Undertaker, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Kurt Angle, but WWE was in need for some new stars. And what I really appreciated about the Royal Rumble 2005 is we got 2 new stars created from that. If you look at the entire card overall, Randy Orton was receiving a major push late 2004 into early 2005. And of course, to eventually face Undertaker at WrestleMania 21. And looking at the Royal Rumble, you had John Cena and Batista as the last 2. Even with that botch, the mess up at the end, and Vince coming out tearing his quads. Come on. It's classic cinema. It's live TV. It's so raw, organic. And it was obvious that Cena and Batista were going to be the ones to take WWE into the next level of the promised land, alongside Randy Orton as well. Batista winning a Rumble that year, I think was a good choice as well. I can't forget Edge. Edge and Shawn Michaels had a match that night. Edge was another one who finally at that time was starting to break through on his own, not just being in a team with Christian. He was starting to become his own guy. And, we've seen the history that Edge made, but yeah, I would define that Royal Rumble as the year that they started, really building towards the future of the WWE. So next up, number 8, I got the 2004, very controversial 2004 Royal Rumble. Looking back at the 2004 Royal Rumble, man, I don't think people realize how stacked the entire card was. We literally had Brock Lesnar, Goldberg, a young Randy Orton, young Batista, young John Cena. It would talk about promise, and not just the Royal Rumble match, but throughout the match card. 2004, it was pretty stacked. I'm not even gonna lie. That was a stacked card. We had Triple H and Shawn Michaels, and their feud, pretty much one of the greatest feuds of the Ruthless Aggression era. Honestly, if you ask me. Of course, we know who won the Royal Rumble that year was redacted. So, but that was shocking. I remember at that point, going into the Royal Rumble 2004, I would have put a lot of money on Goldberg winning it, even though Goldberg's already been world champion at this point. He lost it back to Triple H, but they were building up to Goldberg versus Lesnar. They kept sending hints of them, invading each other's shows, and just the backstage promos between the two. I thought Goldberg had it. I thought Goldberg for sure had it, but you know, they went a completely different angle with that one, man. But yeah, number 8 is 2004. So number 7 for me on my top 10 Royal Rumbles, I got the 2003 Royal Rumble event, man. So this 2003, the highlights that really stood out for me was Kurt Angle versus Chris Benoit. You know, say what you want, I know, very controversial, but that match that they had together at that event was incredible. And the standing ovation at the end of it, man, like professional wise, that was an incredible performance from both Angle and Benoit. And also looking back at that Royal Rumble, man, another Rumble that had some great moments. I want to say it was Shawn Michaels and Chris Jericho was number 1 and 2. And of course, they ended up facing each other at WrestleMania a couple of months after that. And I also like that this Royal Rumble, also another Rumble that built new stars. Brock Lesnar was in his debut year in the WWE and won the Royal Rumble match, man. Went on to WrestleMania to become WWE champion, defeating Kurt Angle. And I always like when a Rumble, you know, put somebody new in there. But, you know, as this list progresses, that statement might kind of be contradictory, but either way. Number 6 for me, I got the 2017 Royal Rumble, man. So this Royal Rumble was huge. Another star-studded, man. We had John Cena and AJ Styles. Of course, this was when John Cena actually won his last WWE championship, was at that event to tie Ric Flair. Royal Rumble, like I said, was stacked. We had Chris Jericho, Dean Ambrose, Bray Wyatt, Randy Orton, Brock Lesnar, Goldberg, Roman Reigns. And Orton winning it, man, even though it was his second time winning the Royal Rumble, it felt well deserved. Randy's one of those guys, he can win the 2025 Royal Rumble, and I will still feel happy. Again, like I said, I like when Rumble builds new stars, but it could also be contradicted because you got guys like Randy Orton who are just so damn good that I just want to see them get every accolade possible, man. But Orton won a Rumble that year, and I like that event. I like that event. All right, so number 5, I got the 2010 Royal Rumble. Now, the 2010 Royal Rumble, the build up to it, there was a lot of stars and a lot of different things that was going on at the time. Cena just lost the WWE title to Sheamus at TLC the month before. Batista was full on heel. It was a different time, and it kind of felt like it was anyone's Royal Rumble for the taking. Now, going into it, I thought it was the perfect time for Jericho to win the Royal Rumble, possibly, because Jericho still to this day has never won a Royal Rumble match. But 2010, we had let me see my notes again. Like I said, it was so many storylines to go off of. We had Shawn Michaels and him wanted to, you know, challenge the Undertaker at WrestleMania again. Taker turned him down. It was Shawn's quest to really win the Royal Rumble, get back to WrestleMania to face Taker. Of course, you had John Cena, like I said, just lost the WWE title. We didn't know where John Cena was going to end up at WrestleMania at this point. Jericho was another one, like I said, you know, he was coming out of that tag team with Edge that summer prior. Edge ended up getting hurt. Jericho had he had a pretty good run alongside Big Show. He had the Survivor Series triple threat with Taker and Show. Then you had guys like CM Punk. CM Punk was really coming into his own at that time as well. But the highlight of this event was Edge making his return. Damn it, that was special and unexpected. Very, very unexpected, man. And Edge ended up winning the Royal Rumble, his first ever Rumble to win. And it just made so much sense when Edge came back and won that Rumble. So that one's at number 5 for me. So number 4, we're going to go ahead 10 years to the 2020 Royal Rumble, right before the pandemic began. The energy, everything was to an all-time high. From the audience, the excitement. We're on the road to WrestleMania 36. Man, WWE, people don't really talk about it. But I say at this point for the WWE, if the pandemic never happened, 2020 would have been probably one of the greatest years in the WWE in a long time, in a very long time at that time. I truly believe it. Drew McIntyre, of course, won the Royal Rumble that year. He was on a quest to slay the beast, to slay Brock Lesnar, win his first ever world championship, and the crowd, everybody was 100% behind him. Let's see, Edge made his return 10 years after his 2010 Royal Rumble return, but this time he was returning from a career-ending injury. Edge made that return, man, and that was fire, man. Like, I think that is one of the, it's a top 3 Royal Rumble return and surprise entrance for me. Like, that was just special, very special, man. I also like, you know, little moments in the match, like Keith Lee and Brock Lesnar, just little things, man. But yeah, 2010 Royal Rumble, or 2020 Royal Rumble, I'm sorry, takes number 4 for me. So now we're in the top 3. My top 3 favorite Royal Rumbles, man. I gotta go with number 3 is 2008. Now, the 2008 Royal Rumble also emulated from Madison Square Garden. And this Royal Rumble, I remember specifically, I'm like, Triple H is gonna win it. Triple H returned at SummerSlam. He took out King Booker. He had the feud with Umaga. He was close to, you know, it was the WWE Championship match at No Mercy with Orton. I'm like, this is Triple H's revenge tour. He's gonna win this Rumble. He's gonna end the age of Orton at WrestleMania 24. I thought for sure. Now, Cena was injured. And I'm like, man, it just made the most sense. But also looking at the card, man, Jeff Hardy was so close. So close. Of course, the end of 08, Jeff Hardy ended up winning the WWE Championship. But he was so close in that feud with Randy Orton to winning the title. And it was a little piece of me that was like, what if Jeff Hardy wins at the Royal Rumble? What if he dethrones Orton at the Rumble, man? So, yeah, I got 2008. And again, this is why I say the Edge return in 2020 is a top 3 moment, man, because I know for me personally, when John Cena came back at number 30 in the 2008 Royal Rumble, listen, we weren't supposed to see Cena again. He was supposed to miss WrestleMania in 2008. He wasn't nowhere near supposed to come back yet, but the fact that he came back 3 months after that injury, 3 months after that surgery to come back and win it, the ultimate shock, man. Like, that is one of my favorite moments, man. And Cena was the right person to win it. Damn it, like, a return like that, you gotta win a Rumble. But I do think the original plan was probably for Triple H to win it. So number 2 for me, I got the 2006 Royal Rumble. Now, this was at a time where we just lost Eddie Guerrero. So the atmosphere, just everything was, the morale was really low. You know, we lost Eddie Guerrero. You know, it definitely put it kind of put a jam into a lot of creative plans that they originally had leading up to WrestleMania. And I was still pretty excited about the Royal Rumble match, man. I didn't know exactly where they were going to go with it. I remember at that time, Batista and Rey Mysterio were a tag team. I believe they were tag team champions. I think they lost it back to Eminem. At that time. I didn't think Ray was gonna win a Royal Rumble that year. Honestly, I would have said Triple H was a good one. Randy Orton was another good one because Orton had an incredible 2005. This would have been a great moment to give the Orton a Royal Rumble win. But Ray winning was the right choice. Looking back at it, man, doing it for Eddie Guerrero, it was such a great moment, man. Him coming out in the lowrider and lasting as long as he did, over an hour in the Royal Rumble against guys like Triple H and Randy Orton. And man, like, bro, that was it's complete underdog story. And aside from that, I did enjoy the Edge and John Cena feud, man. Edge with the Rated R Championship, Cena winning it back. Kurt Angle becoming World Heavyweight Champion and him against an unstoppable Mark Henry at that time, only for the event to end with the return of The Undertaker and the lightning coming down and breaking the ring. Damn it, I love that. 2006 Royal Rumble was top notch. So now my favorite Royal Rumble event of all time has got to be the 2007 Royal Rumble, man. This event, 2007, was a great year for the WWE. You know, it was, of course, the last year of the Ruthless Aggression era. And this Royal Rumble, it also was the first inclusion of ECW. Of course, WWE brought back a very underwhelming ECW brand at that time in 06. But this was a great time, man. You know, the Hardys was back together. The John Cena versus Umaga feud that started at New Year's Revolution. Cena beating Umaga, an undefeated Umaga at that time, to then move on. It's a last man standing match. I'm like, don't tell me they're gonna have Umaga defeat John Cena and take that championship off him. Umaga was unstoppable. He was undefeated dang near an entire year. But that last man standing match, one of my favorite last man standing matches, the Shawn Michaels Undertaker spot in the Royal Rumble was great. I want to say leading up to that time, it was between, I would have bet more money on Shawn Michaels winning that year. I just seemed like all the stars aligned. Triple H had just got hurt, and DX was one of the hottest talks on Monday Night Raw. Their feud with the McMahons. With Triple H is hurt, I'm like, man, this is the perfect time. Shawn Michaels, he's Mr. WrestleMania. He's gonna win the Royal Rumble, but Undertaker winning it was also a shock, man. And it worked out. It worked out because WrestleMania 23 ended up being one of my favorite WrestleManias, man. But what Undertaker and Shawn did in that Royal Rumble match, damn it, they had a freaking match inside of a match. But Undertaker winning it, and believe it or not, this was also Undertaker's first and only Royal Rumble win in his illustrious career, which is crazy to think, but it was the right choice, man. So yeah, this video might have been all over the place. I got no script to it. I just got a couple of notes here of reasons why I like these Royal Rumbles. But just to recap, from 10 to 1, I got the 2000 Royal Rumble at number 10, 2005 Royal Rumble at number 9, 2004 Royal Rumble at number 8, 2003 at number 7, 2017 at number 6, 2010 at number 5, 2020 at number 4, 2008 at number 3, and 2006 at number 2, with 2007's Royal Rumble as my favorite Royal Rumble of all time, man. So y'all let me know y'all thoughts and opinions on which Royal Rumbles are your favorite, man. What is the greatest Royal Rumble moment, best winner, whatever, man. Sound off in the comment section down below. If you are new to the channel, y'all rock with me, want more wrestling related content, hit that subscribe button for me. And until the next video, I'll see y'all then. Thank you for watching. MKE Maniaci. I'm out.